It's a rainy day in Kingston. I hope the farmers all over the country getting some. Well, not the tomato farmers because the tomatoes are overwatered and them not turning out good at all. Too much spoiled tomato at the market and in the supermarket. The tomato farmers need to manage the water and the tomato. Well, I'm not a farmer. Who am I to talk to the damn tomato farmers? Them? I will just pick through the damn thing and find some tough ones. So let me leave the farmers them alone. I want them getting some rain. Good afternoon, Karen Cecilia here. Now, the thing about Bunting now, Peter Murcutt Bunting, the Machiavellian one, the one that set out to destroy the party and then lead it and rebuild it. Because that was the master plan. Firstly, destroy Peter Phillips, mash up the party, destroy Paulwell, destroy Lisa Hanna, destroy Damian Crawford, destroy Philip Paulwell. Those were the targets. Destroying all of those people, particularly those three. And then try to rebuild it with the other ones, them, humble the other one, them, belittle them, and get them to comply and come under whatever umbrella it was going to be. Now we know that it is a Rise umbrella. So that was his intent. That was the grand plan. But sorry to say that karma and the good Lord and the universe fucked that up all to high heaven. I mean, it couldn't have been more fucked up than it is right now. Mark Golding now get attraction in the country. Nobody don't like him. And him don't seem to understand that nobody don't like him because him not likable. Him is not anybody's grandfather. So children would want to run up to him. Them can sense that him is nobody's grandfather. He's not anybody's Uncle Peter. Them run up hold on to Peter big fat belly. And Peter foot them and try to get them hand around him waist. Because him is Uncle Peter. And him look like an Uncle Peter. And him look like a grandfather Peter. So nobody don't like Mark. Mark not likable. Mark not lovable. Mark not kissable. Mark not nothing. Mark is insipid looking, quite frankly. Mark make me want to throw every time I see him. Truly. But so that's why we get left after Peter Murcutt Bunting thing failed. Look at us now. Mark all over the country introducing candidates, Rice candidates who got rewarded for supporting this Mark Golding, the vindictive and divisive leader. I soon sort you out, Mark. We soon reveal to the Jamaican people all the information that we have gathered on you to impress upon the Jamaican people why they cannot give you the keys to the house. Matter of fact, them can't even let you into the driveway. Quite frankly, well, them actually open the gate already because you're opposition leader. But we're going to tell them can't make you park up at the driveway because you're unfit and improper to be leader of this country. But we want to talk about Peter Murcutt Bunting and his son. And it's a sensitive issue. It is. And why I believe it's a sensitive issue because there's a little boy involved. And this little boy is son to a high-profile man who engage in all kinds of shit on a daily basis. Poor fellow. At least him other children are grown people and them can handle the public scrutiny and the excitement from social media and wherever else. But this little boy don't deserve the kind of scrutiny that this brings on to him. And some years from now, somebody is going to show it to him. Some years from now, somebody is going to have that thing from the court, have that thing from the news report. Somebody's going to have it and somebody's going to show it to him. And I can't even imagine what kind of damage that could do to him. So I'm not here to beat up on the little boy who should have been protected by his father. And by no means the mother is escaping any of this. By no means. Because some of them women, they make money and power and influence and big man and all kind of thing. Cloud them judgment into how they should deal with them children and how they should protect their children, and them get carried away by all of the hype and the bling and the excitement and put them children in harm's way, and she can't escape no kind of judgment. But I don't know her. So I can only heap judgment on her from a distance as a mother and say that she should have protected her child. Use every means possible. Lick down Smaddy, chop up Smaddy, burn down somewhere to protect our little boy. She should have gone through any lengths to protect our little boy from such an abuse. But Peter Murcat Bunting, him do have anything to offer the public. Him do have anything to say about the matter. And that in itself is very strange. And he would very much like to keep it a private matter. I think that's where I'm going. He want to keep it a private matter. We're dealing with it privately and probably getting counsel for the little boy, which is good. My beef is not so much with him. My beef is with the Jamaica Constabulary Force. My beef is with CISOCA. My beef is with the Children's Advocate Office. My beef is with the other children's services, when them change the name to some long bastard name, it used to just mean in children's services. My beef is with those people. And why do I have beef with them? I have beef with them because Bunting's little boy was abused by an unknown man named James. Nobody don't know who this man is. But James apparently abused this little boy. Abused him sexually, emotionally, psychologically. Abused this little 10-year-old boy. And all of these agencies, all of them quiet. We don't hear dip from the police about an investigation. We don't hear dap from CISOCA. We don't hear from the children's services. We don't hear from the woman down at the call herself a children's advocate. We don't hear crap from any of them. And I've got to ask myself the question, why? Why we don't hear from them? Why is the public not privy to information regarding this incident involving a 10-year-old minor who's supposed to be under the care and protection of his father, who's a high-profile politician who mix up in all kind of sexual deviancy? Why we don't hear anything about that? Because his father is a sexual deviant. We know that for a fact. And his father is a sexual deviant. And he better not try to challenge us on that either. But why? I remember when I exposed Dayton Campbell, everybody was all up into them feelings. The police clear Dayton Campbell. They have nothing to report because them do an investigation and they didn't find anything because they wanted me to hand over the people them girl pick me to them. They wanted me to hand over the people them girl pick me to them, who now covering up Bunting's inability to protect him 10-year-old picnic and covering up this crime for this man who named James. This seems to be a vast cover-up. And why do I believe it's a vast cover-up? Nobody not say nothing. We don't hear nothing from CISOCA. And it's like the country went quiet on all of this, and nobody's asking CISOCA what happened to this investigation with this little underage, with this minor youth, who was abused by a man in his father's house under his father's roof while his father was sleeping in another room on the very said premises. This would be a major scandal in any part of the world. They would be hauling in the father and the mother, of course, and questioning both of them. The public needs to know. I need to know. And the public is kind of quiet on it, and I don't know why. Where is the investigation? Where is CISOCA issuing statement? The police was all up into arms about me handing over the people them underage picnic that Dayton Campbell abused. I never gonna do that. CISOCA was all up into arms, wanting to interview them and carry them to a safe place, and they can protect them can't protect crap. The children advocate was all over the place, running up our mouth about all kinds of things. And the children's agency, I don't remember what them said. But everybody was up into arms, wanting to link up with these young women who were underage at the time when they were abused, but they are now young women past the age of 18 and can make their own decisions. And everybody was in arms about meeting them, about seeing them, about wanting to talk to them. And I don't hear nobody up in arms want to talk to Bunting and him baby mother and Mr. James. We don't hear nothing yet about the little boy, whether it is within the public's interest to find out if this little minor is getting counseling, if his house is now safe from pedophiles, if the place where him live and sleep is now safe from Mr. James, whoever Mr. James is. For all I know, Mr. James could be Bunting. I want a Bunting friend. We don't know. What is the relationship between Mr. Bunting and Mr. James, if Mr. James exists? What's the relationship between both of them that we can't hear nothing about it? Why is it being swept under the carpet? Why is it that CISOCA and the police and the children's advocate and everybody else believe that we don't have a right to know what happened to this minor, this little 10-year-old guy, little boy? I pray the good Lord keep him safe and protect him and keep him covered under the blood of Jesus. Because his father is the one who set this up to make him, well, not set it up, but set up this kind of environment for him. And remind Bunting that all the things that you have done in your life to bring down people is going to affect your children and your grandchildren. It's called karma. But it's worse than that. Old time people used to say, if it a fall upon you, pick them a fall upon your grandpeople, fall upon somebody because of all the things that you have done. I remember when the police cleared dating camp and said them not find nothing, which them wasn't looking for anything, because them a dating master, them a Bunting master. Bunting was leading them and directing them as to how them should go about it. Them all in the justices of the peace and terrorize them about the letters that they signed for the 3 young women. They all them in and have them at them office terrorizing them for hours. Every day I thank my lucky stars. Every day I lift my hands to the heaven. And I said, Lord Jesus, I give you thanks that I never ever took any of those young ladies to these justice of the peace. Thank you, dear Jesus, for showing me the good sense that I should not be the one doing that. I them for go find them justice of peace. I can only direct them and let them go to them by themselves. Thank you, dear Jesus. I give thanks every day. As them lock up justice of peace them long time. Yeah. Yeah, man, Mr. Fitzbailey called them in and they interrogated them. I want to know if Mr. Fitzbailey have called in Bunting and Mr. James and interrogate them about this 10-year-old minor that has been sexually abused by a Mr. James, and I put Mr. James in quote unquote. Because we don't know if him exists or we don't know if him is somebody else. We them just give that name, fictitious name. For all we know, as I said, it could be Bunting. We don't know him as a deviant. And I can't forget the day that I was home here on the balcony sitting. Eli, you have to quiet when I'm doing my voice note, Papa. Seriously. And I can't forget, I was sitting here and I got a phone call from a prominent media personality who was delivering messages for Bunting and dating them at the time. And he called me to tell me that the police is looking for me. Where am I? And I said to him, I'm yard. If the police them want to find me, them know me live. But just in case I know, could you please tell them that Jews and me there 50 Wilmot Drive, then come past Pauline Boulevard and drive a little bit down is the upstairs house on the gully back. That's me. Him called me to tell me that. For them coming to lock me up for public mischief. Which Bunting had asked them to lock me up for public mischief. The calling in of the justices of the peace to interrogate them was Mark Golding's doing. He was the one, him and Bunting, who requested the police to go draw in the two members of the Jamaican judiciary, valid and qualified justice of the peace, to sit down and have conversation with young women and sign document for them. And Bunting and Mark Golding have the police all in those justices of the peace to interrogate them. Not to ask them questions about whether them do this or whether they do that. To actually putting words in their mouth and suggesting scenarios to them. I have no doubt that justice of the peace will take actions against the police at some point. At least one I know. But where are they now? Everybody hiding. protecting each other. Because we know the police work for backroom master, you know. Them take them orders from backroom master. The police are not our servant. They are not servant of the people. Because if they were servant of the people, they would have ordered them to lock up Bunting and lock up Mr. James. I would have ordered them to do that, and they would have do it if they were my servant. But they're not my servant. Them are Mark Golding and Andrew Holness and everybody else servant, and Angela Brownberg and Bunting. Them serve them there. Them don't serve we. And them certainly not serving the 10-year-old young fella. So I want to know where them there. Them call them in and tell them to come lock me up for public mischief. Of course, them couldn't show them face of Jews about them and lock me up for no public mischief. But I suppose them the person that them asked to call me from the news media was supposed to frighten me and shut me up, and well, a whole lot of things is supposed to shut me up and frighten me. First, the threat of a lawsuit was supposed to shut me up. Then that never worked, so them actually filed a lawsuit, and that was to shut me up. And that never worked either. So them took it a step forward, and them go so bam. Them going to expel me, because that was supposed to not only shut me up, but supposed to kill me. That neither shut me up nor killed me. And then after a year or so, them say, well, we don't have nothing else to say now. Well, look at us now. Look at us now. 2 years later, we have plenty to say on a daily basis. So I certainly have plenty to say. Which going to provide. Most of which going to provide anyway. But I just want to say that Peter Bunting, my little son, the baby mother, Mr. James, the police, CISOCA, the children's advocate, it used to be Child Development Agency. Why the backside them change it to this everlasting long thing? The Child Development Agency. And all the people responsible for the welfare and the well-being of our children in this country. Why are they quiet? Is there an investigation going on? Have somebody been arrested? Have anybody been questioned? Did Bunting, did they all him ask? Did Mr. Fitzbailey all him ask in them office and question him about the well-being of his 10-year-old child? Did CISOCA haul him down to their office and question him? Have they found Mr. James? Did they question Mr. James? Well, when I try to hide it, it can't hide no more, because I'm not going to stop on this now. But I was asking on now in this first voice note, where is that going? Where is that now? We need to give the public some update as to the well-being of this 10-year-old child and what has happened. Is there an investigation into what happened at Mr. Bunting's house with his 10-year-old son and Mr. James, with Mr. Bunting sleeping in a separate room under the same roof and the same premises? I would have asked them to take two people for that, man. We want to know. We want to know. Because if it was any poor person from any community, poor and underprivileged, who need to have them name and them face all over the newspaper and the news media talking about investigation and locking up. If it was any other person, all I would be out there running up on them out, CISOCA and the police and everything would be giving investigative updates. We want to know what's happening with Mr. Bunting's 10-year-old minor child who was sexually abused, emotionally abused, psychologically abused on his premises that he was present on that particular day. We want to know. Please, I need to answer some questions right now about that. Thank you very much for listening to me. God bless you all. Stay safe, everyone. And please let us all keep the children safe.